أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. All praises be to Allah. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam. Self-awareness, we talked about it as a first step, as the first step of the emotional intelligence structure. Okay? In general, I'd love you for you to read a lot about these emotional intelligence articles and research. You need to read about the well-being, emotions, about stress management, about self-confidence, self-care, about all of these things. It's very important to develop oneself. So it's a self-development process. And before we start self-development, we talk about self-awareness. You have to be aware of yourself. You have to know where your position is, who's surrounding you, the things that you engage in. You have to observe all of these things. In the morning, I have the habit of doing such and such, and whenever I eat, I have the habit of doing such and such. While I'm eating, I do such and such. When I see somebody eating in a certain way, that's what happens to me. Or I get disturbed by such sounds, and I have happiness when I hear those sounds. Whenever I hear a speech, this is what happens to me, and so on and so forth. So this is exactly what you need to do for self-awareness. So we talked enough about it. Now we get to self-development. What is self-development? This is simply the process of learning new things and building new skills for yourself. So now, because you are self-aware, what happens, what you lack, what you don't lack, what you need to strengthen. You observed already all of that. Now you decide what are the skills that I need to learn. So simply, this is the process of learning those new things and new skills, build new skills. Those skills that increase your chances of success, achieving your goals and manifesting your dreams. And so this is basically simply the self-development. So self-awareness is the thought process and observation. Self-development is the action part. Based on the information that you gathered about yourself, what do you need to do now? Okay, so this is how it connects with self-awareness, right? So this is very important. So this is, all this genre of self-development is what you need to start exploring and reading. Okay, so when you work on self-development, you are going to get very good on emotional and the practical skills. Emotional and practical skills. Emotional, you're gonna learn how to control your emotions, how to feel empathy for others, how to, when you're sad, or what do you do? What is the thought process when you're sad? What is the thought process when you're happy? What is the thought process when you're grieving? What is the thought process when you're scared or afraid? So now this is the self-development. This is the skill, emotional skill. When you love somebody, how? Okay, how to control your emotions, how to keep them in check. And practical skills like things that you do with your hand, when you talk and when you walk, and those practical skills, how to sit and how to do things. Those are practical skills. And you need those to develop, to achieve success. So I wanted to succeed as a business owner. Okay. Now I observe myself. Why do I fail in business every time? This. So now I need to develop that skill of being a business owner. I have to be patient with customers. I have to be early in the morning, and I have to be the last one who leaves. Those are practical skills. Emotional skills, how to control yourself when your customer is not right, but they become right, because they're just a customer. You don't want to lose the customer. It's not about yourself or your personal ego now, or those things. So now it is about the business. So you learn these skills, okay? So you develop that, you accomplish the goals that you set out to do. Then it's very important for the self-development process to have goals, right? It's very, very, very important to have goals to self-develop. So you observe yourself, you can have the goal. You're saying, I'm not going to be angry when people talk to me. So that's a goal. Now you have to develop the skills to do that, right? So what are the most important personal self-development skills? What are the most important of those? There are lots of skills, but what are the most important of those? Okay. Let me share with you. Want to share something with you.
Before we were using Monday.com, our team was drowning in work. Our day.
Okay. I'm going to share a few things with you, and you listen to them later. I mean, if there are videos, I want you to listen to them later, right? And if there are diagrams, then we're going to do it now. Okay, so I just send you a video that you can listen to about self-development, right? Yeah, so what are the most important skills? First skill, you have to develop a growth mentality or mindset. That's our biggest enemy, by the way. Sisters, this is our biggest enemy. No, I can't do that. Oh, this is too much. Who has the time to do this? It's too bigger of a task, too big for a task. I don't think it's me. I don't think I'm cut for that. See, you're already putting yourself down. So you're worst enemy. You are your own worst enemy when you have that kind of mindset. No, I have a growth mentality. You have to develop that as well. A growth mentality is developed. You cannot say, I'm going to memorize the Quran, and then you say, I'm building my growth mindset. No, you can say, I'm going to memorize 10 surahs by the end of this year, and I'm going to read them with tajweed. That is an achievable goal. Then, when you achieve that, you say, you know what, I memorized 11 surahs instead of 10. So let me set another goal to memorize the next 10 surahs, but in 6 months, in 3 months. And then I'm going to finish Juz Amma by the following Ramadan. My next Ramadan, I'm going to memorize Juz Amma. So those are things you do. Then you develop that growth mindset. So you are actually developing it. It's like going to the gym and you go on the treadmill 10 minutes and you're out of breath. If you say, no, that's too much, the treadmill is bad. No, you are going to keep doing the 10 minutes until you're not out of breath anymore with 10 minutes. Or you lower them. You start with 6 minutes. Oh, I finished 6 minutes and I feel good. So make them 6.5, 7. Then 10 minutes without being out of breath and become 11, 12. Might take you a year until you do 20 minutes on the treadmill, but that's the growth mindset. How you have grown or not, yes. A few years back, a couple of doctors came to me in Masjid Salam and said, Sheikh, you keep saying memorize Quran, memorize Quran. Do you think we can memorize Quran? I said, I don't think, I believe so. But you follow the rules. Many people think that they cannot go to medical school, but you believed in yourself and you went to a medical school. And I'm sure many times you tried to give up, but you continue because there's a goal in front of you. You don't want to be a failure, right? They said, right, absolutely, you're right. I said, same thing with Quran. Even if you end up not memorizing the Quran, that's okay. So that was a few years back, about 5 years or so. 3 years after that, they memorized 5 juz of the Quran, those 2 doctors. And now they did not memorize any other thing. That's very, very clear proof that growth mindset and believing in yourself is what you want to make you improve and self-develop. What made them memorize 5 juz in 3 years? Exactly what made them quit. The opposite of what made them quit. And what they did not have before. They didn't believe in themselves and they did not follow up. Right? They did not follow up. So once they believed in themselves and I encouraged them and I gave them the schedule and I told them how to review, how to read with the Sheikh Farouk and all of that, they memorized. And they took the first year in memorizing like a juz and a half, hardly. And the following year, they doubled it, and the following year, they doubled it. Less effort, So 3 years, they memorized 5 juz, and they memorized them very well. And one of them gave a khutbah and all of that. Doctors, MDs. Okay? So then they got sucked in again into the world and into things, and they, relaxed and all of that, so they did not continue. Had they continued, they memorized maybe 2 juz. Maybe by the time your life comes to an end, you memorized half of the Quran. Is this better or not memorizing anything at all is better? That is what I'm talking about. Develop a growth mindset. I am going to keep growing. How much? It doesn't matter. 1 ounce or 1 pound, it does not matter. 1 millimeter or 1 centimeter does not matter. You have a growth mindset. Okay, so if you have, this fixed mindset, then you're going to shy away from challenges. No, you know what? I'm comfortable as I am. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. To develop your growth mindset, you have to push yourself out of the comfort zone. You do not pray Sunnah, start praying Sunnah. You don't pray Tahajjud, start praying Tahajjud. You don't read Quran, start reading Quran. You read Quran, start memorizing. You memorize, start Tajweed. You start Tajweed, you read a little bit more. You teach somebody, you practice in a group. Challenge yourself all the time. And don't be afraid that you're humiliated or you're embarrassed. Don't. Especially in seeking knowledge, 2 people who will never feel satiated or satisfied. The seeker of money and the seeker of knowledge. That is supposed to be the mindset for the seeker of knowledge. Like the one who makes money, even if he becomes a millionaire, doesn't matter. He's still making money. They're still thinking about this money going, this money coming. It's not the same mind, the mindset of growth. So they will never be satisfied, will never be full. And the same thing should be the one who's seeking Allah, seeking the knowledge, seeking the hereafter, seeking Jannah, seeking the pleasure of Allah. That should not be satisfied either with what they do. Right? So that helps you with the growth mindset. Push yourself out of your comfort zone and don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Okay? Because it will lead you to avoid challenges and new experiences. And those experiences can actually help you grow. Some people, they shy away from the halqa in the masjid. So we make a tajweed group, and most of the people who come in the beginning, they find themselves embarrassed because they don't know how to read properly, and few people there intimidate them, they don't come. Well, every time you join the halqa, you're going to start from scratch and you're going to give up. And guess what? Many of those who challenge themselves and stayed, now they're reading better. Not the best, but they're reading better. So it's your choice. Again, growth mentality. And you have to vary also the ways that you improve yourself. you know, so if you have a growth mindset, then you're going to enjoy challenges. It doesn't matter there's risk. It doesn't matter you failed over and over and over. You take challenges. But you value the learning process. You value the learning process itself. Because you know what you're doing. You are self-aware of yourself. I need this, so I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter how many times. Kids, they learn baking, for example. They mess up the cake and they mess up the dessert 7, 8 times before they master it. But when they master it and they do it, everybody like forget about their failures. Everybody tells them, "Oh, I love the way you make such and such cake. I love the way you make such and such dish. Please, I like to eat it from your hand." You know, nobody remembers how many failures that they did. Even they themselves enjoy the moments now of achievement. Why? Because they allowed themselves to grow with that risk of losing and failing, and they were not scared of the embarrassment and humiliation and all of that. I hope this is clear, right? So that's skill number 1 to self-develop, is to develop a growth mindset. So you should have that. You will not grow literally, physically, practically unless your head is ready for you to grow. Otherwise, people are scared. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym because it's packed and I'm overweight or whatever. Okay, what is the gym made for? For people who are overweight and they get to exercise. If you think that you have to be fit to go to the gym only for fit people, no, fit people, they do maintenance. But mostly the people who go to class, the people who do not know. You come to the fatwa night because you want to ask. You go to the gym because you want to be fit. So people have that mentality of like, I need to look a certain way to be in that class. Well, you're in that class because you don't know. It's not like you have knowledge. You don't need to come to that class. You need to challenge yourself with a harder class or harder level. So having the growth mindset is very important to develop. And Allah Azza wa Jalla say that in the Quran many times. Be with those who are truthful. See the mindset. If you are something that's hard for you to achieve, be with those who will help you to achieve. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us the best, every child of Adam makes mistakes. And those who make mistakes are the ones who come back again and repent to Allah. That shows you. That shows you fall, you stand up again and walk, and fall again and walk. But you have to have that growth mindset. Don't shy away and don't be afraid of losing or the risk of embarrassment. Number 2, you have to develop your ability to think like a business owner or an entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur? Who's an entrepreneur? You have your own business or not. Entrepreneurs have to be creative, innovative. They are good at planning at all possible outcomes. I wanted to sell this item. I might lose, I might win, I make big money or less money or break even. See, they will continue doing the business. They will continue being creative until they get to the top of the game, you know. So have that thinking. So, you know, develop that ability. So have a growth mindset, but have the ability to think like a businessman, like an entrepreneur. Until he reaches that altitude, he might go up and down and all of that. So all sorts of situations, they will thrive. Markets down, they will find how to do things. There is a chance or opportunity, they will grab it. They'll go to a conference to present. They'll give their cards to people. They'll talk about their business. They will partner with somebody. They will see how they can profit. So always think about it like that. So doing that, you'll learn how to achieve your goals. Whether to start a business or to impact the community around you, or to change your family, or to set yourself up for retirement or for goal of some type. Why not? But you think like an entrepreneur. I want to achieve that. Like a business owner, I want to achieve the success in the business and make a fortune. This is their goal. Now, the market may change, the stock market go up and down, they may lose their money, somebody may trick them, a customer may give them a hard time, but their main goal is to survive. So think like that about your goals. Number 3, you have to calm yourself and always de-stress. We hear this a lot. That de-stress and detox and all that. You don't know how to do it. So high level of stress, they are hard for you. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told one of the companions, for Allah there is right upon you, for your family there is right upon you, for your wife there is right upon you, for your guests there is right upon you, and for yourself there is right upon yourself. So give everything the right. So don't stress yourself at work and abandon your family. Don't stress yourself with your family and abandon your community. Don't stress yourself for your community and abandon your family and work, and so on and so forth. And don't overstress yourself with all of those, or taking more than you can chew. No. So that's not what Islam tells us. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told when he went to the masjid and he found a rope there, he said, whose rope is this between the two pillars in the masjid? They said, it is for Zainab, your wife, Zainab bint Jahsh. So she makes tahajjud, and when she becomes sleepy or something like that, she leans over the rope so she doesn't fall. He said, take the rope off. Each and every one of you should pray while they are active and able to pray. The minute they feel down or they feel tired, let them sleep. So he's telling us that your body has a right upon you. So don't overstress yourself, don't overstress your mind, don't overstress your soul. Okay. So high level of stress will prevent you from effectively pursuing and achieving your self-development goals. Now, I want you to take a homework of, of learning some stress-reducing activities. Okay, so you have to learn stress detox. You reduce your stress and the tools to do that. You'll find people like sometimes doing yoga or doing an exercise or having a walk or going to the gym or drawing or listening to something. Then that's fine. You have to find what is stressing you. So you go back to the self-awareness, the observation, and break that vicious cycle. And you have to, if you find yourself stressed because you're alone most of the time, then have someone that you talk to. Find that you're, stressed a lot because of your job, then you have something to de-stress. And you have to remove those toxic stressors and see what you enjoy and just go for it. Yes. So this is very, very important to find some stress reducing strategies. Okay, that's number 3, which is calm yourself and de-stress. Number 4, see, that comes after that. Develop your positivity reflex. Sorry. Develop your positivity reflex. Somebody's coming at you negative, try to reply positive. It is hard. I know. We all go up and down and experience ebbs and flows of this life, and positive and negative. But we don't respond the same way, right? Me as a Sheikh, for example, lots of people say bad things. I have to train myself, and I did. How to respond with a smile, with surprised look, or listen attentively. Don't take things personal. He's talking to me as the Sheikh, like not as Mamdouh, his neighbor or his friend. No, each one of those roles, I know exactly my limitations and how I should handle negative and positive. See, that's being self-aware. So we don't respond the same way. Some people get defeated by hard times. while others, it brings the best out of them in hard times. Because they think positive. You'll find when there's a hurricane or something like that, people start looking, where are my children, where are my neighbors, what is happening? That's positive. You know, they see themselves not only wanting to help themselves, but they want to help others. Sometimes sacrificing themselves doing it. Like people who are firefighters or police people or anything like that. Sometimes they see their role is that to help others, even if it comes on their own account. I mean, this is another level of sacrifice. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. They prefer others over themselves, even if they have the need to do it, to take that thing. So developing your positivity reflex is so important. So you have to be positive. You have to have a positive attitude. And if somebody coming at you negatively, imagine that they are trying to pull you down to a hole, and you are keeping your posture and you're keeping up. You're pulling them out of the hole. They are trying to pull you in, and pull yourself back. So don't be defeated and don't have the negative attitude that, oh, people are talking bad about me, or look at those people are staring at me, oh, these people are. You are actually draining your own energy and be defeated here. So don't let hard times defeat you. Number 5, develop a healthier relationship with your technology, especially your phone. You have to have a healthy relationship, because the phone, being addicted to the phone and the internet and social media, it removes that barrier between reality and fantasy. You know, everybody like having their own self digitally, virtually, and they have their real self. So I know my real self. Nobody knows me better than me. But on the phone or on the social media, I'm someone else. I'm that imaginary character who can criticize, while I'm a very scared person of criticizing others and confronting others. I'm very confronting and criticizing behind the keyboard, because people don't know me. Even they see my name, but they don't know me. So I can talk whatever I want and all of that. So I'm a brave person while I'm actually a coward. I'm a generous person while I'm a miser. I am an older person while I'm young, or vice versa, and so on. So you have to develop that healthy relationship with your devices and your smartphones and so on. If you're letting it take over your life, you're lost. It takes over your head, it takes over your mind, it takes over your soul, it takes over your emotions. That's why we don't build any new skills. We just depend on this app and that app, or there's an app for that, and people from there. You find like the kids, they are on there, and you talk to them. What? What do you want? They shout at you. Why? Because you're taking them away from this addiction. So the phone is controlling them now. They cannot leave. They cannot abandon it. Yeah. Then you develop yourselves to be more resilient. That's number 6. You develop yourself to be more resilient. What does resilience mean? That you bounce back faster after you're knocked down. That's resilience. This is one of the most important skills for success. You will not achieve if you fail. You will fail first. You will be knocked out. People will push you away. And the bigger the opportunity, the more important the competition and the race, the more vicious people will be. They'll scratch you, they'll shove you, they'll push you, they'll kick you, they'll break you. They will do everything possible to get you out of that race. So resilience is just come back again and come back stronger and ready, and dodge this and avoid that and sprint here and slow down there. And it's all about reaching the goal. So you have to develop yourself to be more resilient. You have to keep trying when you fail, right? You keep trying and you fail. Number 7, you have to stay mindful of the present moment. You have to stay mindful of the present moment. So you are in the moment now, you are studying right now. Every day when it comes, you're taking that day. Even you have goals and you have things that you strive for, you can enjoy the process and take pleasure in the simple and wonderful parts of just being alive. Wake up in the morning, alhamdulillah, Allah give you another chance on the day. You stress yourself, oh, today, what's the time? I'm going to do such and such. And I dread that. So you will not enjoy from morning until Asr time. And then that interview goes very smooth. You said, man, I was stressing myself for nothing. Or even if it goes hard and bad, so why you became miserable for 10, 15 hours? Why? Why you were miserable for the past 10, 15 hours, stressing yourself? So stay mindful of the present moment. People drive and they don't observe. When they change their mindset and have the growth mentality and follow all those steps, they start seeing things that they were not seeing before. Yeah. And this is where lots of people struggle with, that you are always stuck in the past or dreading the future or being worried about the future. Okay? So you have to also build some mindfulness skills. You have to build some mindfulness skills that are exercises to help you stay mindful and all that. Right? So you can also look for this one. How can I stay mindful and develop mindful skills? Okay. Then number 8, you have to take care of your health. Our Prophet ﷺ said that 2 favors of Allah that most of the people, they're not aware of their benefits, what the benefits of. الصحة والفراغ, health and time. Right? So you have to make use of your time and make use of your health. You have to invest in your own health, mental and physical. Most of the people between the ages of 20 and 40, they don't take good care of their health. Under that, they have high metabolism, they move a lot, they're teenagers, they run here and there and all that, mostly. But now we have obesity, even the problem in the United States. People are overweight and obese when they're young because they're eating and not moving and depressed and playing video games and staying on the internet and online and doing nothing. But mostly between the age of 20 and 40, people are busy making money and career and all that. Once they stabilize their life, they have the house, they have the car, they have a bank account, they have married and maybe they have children. Now their health has started deteriorating because they did not take care of it. So they'll spend the money that they made on their health. See, it's very bad. Had they invested in their health, and everything is in the hand of Allah. When they're 40, they feel like they're 30. When they're 50, they feel like they're 40. When they're 60, they feel like they're 50. So basically, they are delaying that exhaustion process and they are more impactful and good. And by the time they really start getting sick, their children already are stronger and they have like a strong mind, they talk and they lead and they take care of themselves. So taking care of your health from such a young age is very important and it's never too late. So you can start at any time. Don't say that I missed that window. There's no window. We're talking about the ideal time. If you're young, start now. And tomorrow, when you are older, you're still younger than after tomorrow. You're younger than the following week. So you should start investing. And the Prophet ﷺ said that everyone, you should take from your youth to your old age, from your life to the time after death, from your wealth to the time that you don't have the wealth, and so forth and so on. So you have to invest in your own health. So take care of your health. And you have to improve by diet, by how to eat. Don't say that I'm going to fast to lose this many pounds. No. Say I'm changing my lifestyle or my eating habits. I'm not going to eat fried food regardless. I'm going to have an air fryer or something. I'm going to eat lots of salad and protein. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, but I'm going to stick with it. This is my lifetime change. Number 9, keep developing yourself in new ways. Keep developing yourself in new ways. You can just search self-development. How can I develop myself? You're gonna do emotional skills, and you're gonna have like activities to build those emotional skills, and you go from there. You have to see the mental state and how to develop your emotional health and physical health and mental health. Yeah. So you have to do those 9 good skills. Okay, I'm going to send you another video.
Hey, maybe you.
Okay. Did you receive the first one?
Yes, we received it and I forwarded it.
Okay. All right, that's good. So those are some of the skills that one need to self-develop, right? Now, I want to share something with you, and we work on it. Does anybody knows what is a Maslow hierarchy of needs?
Yes.
Did you hear about it?
Yeah, we studied about it.
Yes? Okay. That's the image here. So you see your psychological need, your safety needs, love and belonging, esteem needs, cognitive needs, aesthetic needs, self-actualization is like when you reach your own full potential up there, and not becoming everything, becoming happy. That's, like I achieved that. And this is basically, Islamically speaking, when you die, as radiallahu anhum warḍu anhu, Sufyan al-Thawri, he said that if I die tomorrow, I don't see that there is anything I needed to do, but I didn't do. So I did my duties and I did my level best in doing them the best way I could. So I cannot say that I should have done it better. See, so that's how he's not bragging, but he said that, I did my duties and I did them the best I could do. So I cannot sit here and say, when I was 20 years old, I should have prayed better. No, he did actually. He didn't miss the Salah in Jama'ah. He didn't miss the Takbirat al-Ihram of the Imam for 60 years or 70 years or whatever. Some of the Salaf, some of the predecessors, they were like that. They were saying like 60 years, he never missed a Jama'ah, Takbirah in Jama'ah in the masjid. That's some kind of work. So when you reach your actualization means you reach your full potential. You reach your full potential. So that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. That's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. So our basic physiological needs. This is earthly things. Our food and drink and physical intimacy and all of that. Those are needs that we need, basic survival. Then above that, you have the needs of safety and security. Like once you have food and once you have those desires, they are satisfied. Then you start looking for safety. physical safety. Nobody's going to attack me, and need a house, and need a job, and need this, and need that. So these are the safety and security needs. Then after that, once you are progressing in this, then you need love and belonging. Love and belonging. Somebody in the homeless in the street is not thinking about a partner to love and start a family with. They are still in the physiological needs of hygiene and food and shower and all of that. And then after that, you build safety. Somebody have the food and everything, but they're not safe. They're traveling. They don't have a secure place, and so this is their work. Once they establish that, then they want love and belonging. When they establish that, you need the self-esteem and the self-worth. That's why when two people get married, they start complaining about these things. Like if they're in the beginning looking for an apartment, looking for a house, they're not talking about any other problem. Once they secure that and they secure food on the table and everything, if they are struggling, they will not talk about other problems. Once they have safety and security, then they will start talking about love. Oh, he doesn't love me, or she doesn't love me, or he doesn't give me time. I don't feel that I belong to this family, right? And then once they establish that, then they say, I want people to know me for who I am. I want people to, people know me because I am the wife of the Sheikh. I am the wife of such and such. I want to be the person who does that. You know what I'm talking about, right? So this is, if you're hungry, don't do that. If you are not safe, look at the refugees. They don't have these kind of problems, the love and belonging and self-esteem and all. They don't have these issues. This is not what they're looking for now. After those 4 levels are done, then you need to understand things, why this is happening, why that's happening. You're curious to know things, and I want to know why and all that. That's why they said, the children in the United States, they are very acquisitive and they're very curious because their stomach's full, because they are healthy, because they have a family, they belong, because you tell them that be brave, talk, you give them the self-esteem. Of course they want to understand everything, they want to ask. But if they're hungry, what your child is going to say? Explain to me why the sky is blue. Oh, I'm hungry. They'll tell you, I'm hungry. Mama, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. They'll keep saying hungry forever. Right? So they will not be curious or try to understand if they have those levels before, not fulfilled. And then the 6th level is the aesthetic needs of beauty and symmetry and order and, basically like people don't have a house, why they don't think about the decoration of the house, but they have their house and they're struggling for food and everything. They're not going to talk about fancy furniture and order and symmetry and I want a mirror here and a mirror there, and I want a bookshelf here and a bookshelf there, and I want this couch to look like that couch, and I want the chairs to look like with arms or without arms. They're not going to think about those things. They're not going to think about makeup and what dress that you wear in the morning and what dress you wear at night and all of that, while they're struggling with the levels under that. So finally, at the top of the hierarchy is the need to self-actualization, did I achieve what I want or not? So I hope it makes sense, this is the desires to become everything that you are capable of becoming, because you have the food, you have the money, you have the family, you belong, you have, your self-worth, you're up there now. So now I need to achieve everything I wanted to achieve, and all that. Do you have any questions, sisters? Yes.
So Sheikh, is this Islamically proven also, this model, or if we compare it to our?
No, I was talking about it actually from an Islamic perspective as well. There's nothing against it. Allah Azza wa Jalla said في سورة قريش الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. Allah Azza wa Jalla said they should worship Allah Azza wa Jalla, the one who make them safe and not hungry. So basically, when people are hungry and they are not safe, they are confused, So Allah Azza wa Jalla said, worship Allah through shukr, thankfulness. And Allah does not want us to lose also ourselves when we do not have things fulfilled. So He said that you have to have sabr. But this is a good hierarchy, and I see actually it is very, very practical. Each of those steps as a Muslim, you cannot put faith up top there. If I don't achieve all of this, then I'll not be faithful. That is the part that you're not supposed to apply this for. So your faith is in every step, whether you have it or you don't have it, faith doesn't change, right? So faith, worship is not achieved on the top of this pyramid here by achieving things before it physically, no. Once a person becomes a Muslim, he has to pray, whether he understands it or not, so you just go from there. Any other question?
Based on on Sister Aisha's question, I think I once read about the Islamic theory based on the Maslow hierarchy. It was called the Dhurriyat. It's the Maqasid al-Sharia. Have we ever?
Yes, Maqasid al-Sharia is like the 5 main things, protecting the health, protecting the religion, protecting the mind, protecting the honor, and protecting the wealth, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it divides it into 3 stages, right? The Ruriyat, Hajiyat, and Tahsiniyat, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Right. Yeah. So all of this is telling us what the Sharia came for, right? But Maslow is like more of personal things, not necessarily spiritual, but personal things. So if you put them together, I think you're going to come up with a good model. In my opinion, I don't ignore the science and all of that, because, there is some issue I see that everything like we see in scientific or anything like that, we have an Islamic alternative. Of course we do. But not necessarily you have to cancel those things to create something in front of them. You know what I mean? Like Maqasid Sharia, they came in general. Maslow's thing is like more specific or particular. So what's the problem? I don't see a problem, right? A human being has basic needs. But Maqasid Sharia did not come to fulfill those needs. Came to channel those needs, right?
Yeah, they work hand in hand. Like that.
Yeah, they work hand in hand. So he's saying that you have to fulfill those needs. Sharia is saying how you fulfill those needs.
Yes.
Right? So that's what I'm trying to talk about. We put them together, then you will understand. This one is unrestricted by religion or ideology.
Yeah.
Right? Our Islam frames everything within the frame of Sharia, right? So you have to read each one of them and see. Some of them said what needs to change. Some said why needs to change. Some says how needs to change, right? So you have to look at it from the Islamic lens, not necessarily ignore it and have another alternative. All right. So when we, just to add a little bit more, that you have to in your self-development, you have to have a vision. You said that, you have to have a vision, you have to have that mindset. You have to have a vision. So you have to write that down and you have to plan your personal development. You can search how to plan my personal development. So if you have a vision, it makes this personal development planning as a process. It helps you to get there. Those who write their strategy and all that, they tend to achieve it more than those who do not write. Yeah, I need to do this, then you forget. Write it down, record it. But you have to start it and don't say, I will start next year. It doesn't work like that. Start now. You start now. And you have to also have a journal of recording your self-development. You know, you said, say, today I achieved such and such. Today I worked on this issue. Today I worked on my goal, you know, my achievement and my goals, and evaluating myself and so on. And you have to keep revising them and editing the plans and all of that. This is very important. It's like surveying. This is the self-awareness part. Then making a plan for self-development. You're making a plan, creating a strategy, creating a plan, deciding a strategy. Then you execute it. Then you evaluate yourself, and then you go back again and do that in the cycle. So you survey, you make a vision or a goal, decide a goal, you make a plan, pick strategy, execute it, evaluate it, and based on the evaluation and the feedback, and then you start again and again and again. And that's how you become a better person. That's why I tell people, like, if you evaluate what you did last Ramadan and you start preparing yourself for next Ramadan comes while you are on a higher level, and you pick up from there. And imagine this happens. So every Ramadan, your last Ramadan is the best Ramadan that you have. Any question up to here so far?
That's good.
Comment? Psychology and the Quran. This is, yeah, sure. Go ahead and share it. No problem.
Thank you. Jazakallah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yes. All right, Jazakallah khair. And we will still, next time, I want to hear from each one of you a brief presentation, maybe 3 minutes, for 2 minutes or 3 minutes for each one, maximum 3 minutes. For those who want to talk, of course, I don't want to put you on the spot. And tell me your journey with self-awareness and self-development for the past 3 weeks, including this week. You know, you may say one line, you may say like half, but you may hear more than 3 minutes, but try to be to the point. In the self-awareness process, I discovered that 1, 2, 3, 4 was the main things of my character, main characteristics of personality traits. And then I started developing by observing this and making my mindset and set a goal or two, and you know, I'm on my path of achieving it, because I want at the end of the year to see where did we achieve, what did we achieve, and where are we in this. Okay, we have a deal.
I would recommend that we write this down, inshallah.
Yes.
Because
Yes, please.
Next week, the 28th, inshallah, will be Eid. So Eid al-Adha. So
yeah, we will not have the class, inshallah, but following one, inshallah.
yeah. So that way we will be.
You have 2 weeks to work.
That's right.
Okay, and please share with each other, talk with each other. Maybe you decide a group meeting during the week, somewhere, sometime, and discuss that and come up with a plan. Okay, that's part of your self-development, right? To challenge yourself and get yourself out of your comfort zone.
Inshallah.
All right. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
جزاك الله خير. السلام عليكم.